That'll be it. I was saying such nice things to all of you! Ah! Well, hello to everyone who's joined. I don't know where Cyberstan is, but I don't really, I don't want to go to the front lines of any war. Nice to see you, Ninja. Good morning. I've done a few editing streams before. It's really good to stay motivated. Sometimes I feel a bit low energy, and so it's difficult for me to motivate myself into editing. And whenever that happens, I like to do a stream, because then you guys chat, you know, you push me forwards. And a human being, I appreciate that you don't want any spoilers. That's absolutely fine. Thank you for stopping in to wish me a good day, and everybody else. Yes, I love the Broly movie, honestly. Well done. Yeah, that was 14 months straight of just doing this. It's fun to work on, though. Thank you, Achilles. I wish you a swell day as well, as do I wish for everyone in chat. I could have worded that better, but you know what? I'm tired. May your journey be filled with meaning and consequences. Let's re-angle this a bit. Is that too far? No, that looks good. Maybe a bit too high. That's better. For a moment, I thought Vegeta had a butt chin. Oh, something fun you can do is you can just put this up over his nose. Like, this. And now he's Krillin! It looks like it cuts his nose off, but it doesn't. What's your favorite Dragon Ball Super arc? Battle of Gods. I like Beerus a lot. In his debut, Beerus was a menace, and I loved him. So well written. He got misused immediately in the next arc, and he's never recovered. I am Krill Cheetah. I really want to fight, but I'm also scared. Prince of all manlets. Hello, Heem. Okay, so we need open flap here, and that's mid-face, which is this one. I think that's that done. Can't have a sense of pride when you have no nose. Here, let me move the mic closer so I sound better. There we go. There's a sticky bit. Oh, right, it's the padding there. Okay. I should sound a little better now. Krillin is the biggest pimp in the series. Pulling 18 is a fantastic accomplishment. Now, okay, that's the thing, right? He didn't pull 18. 18 pulled him. Let's turn that this way, Sloan. Can I? No, I want it to be further this way. It's fine. Good old second monitor's always got my back. And yeah, the music is audible. Excellent. Nice bit of Diemdo crew. Right, let's listen back to this. Krillin is submissive dog. 18 is the one with game. Exactly. 18 pulled a baddie.
You let them down. You let them die.
Oh, he opens his mouth again at the end there. For like one frame.
Die.
There we go. That's the stuff. No lip flaps are needed for Magetta. God bless Magetta. I love him. Though, I do need to turn this down. Why is that so harsh? Is that just like that? Let me try. It's still crackling. Oh my god, that's Vegeta's technique! Yeah. Key spam! Go! By the way, those Guilty as Sock streams were great, thank you. Why does that sound like that? I'm gonna... It's 12.9. Okay. 12.9. Let's try putting it back in. So if we delete these...
Loved me!
Yeah, okay, so still too loud. Let's put the compressor on it. Ooh, why does that happen? That's not good.
My people loved me!
I think it's just how it's interacting with the FFX in that. Okay, so which is it then? I gotta troubleshoot this. So if I go to, is it just that it's been bumped up? It is. I think it's because it's been bumped up like that.
My people love.
No, still doing it. Let's turn the flanger off.
My people.
Oh, it's already got a compressor on it. Maybe that's why it's double compressing.
Loved me!
Yeah, that did it. Okay, so it's just because I accidentally doubled up on those. So they're still active. I can turn this back up.
My people loved me!
Okay, cool. So I can now undo until we get our original clips back. It's my fault for putting this in haphazardly yesterday and just going, yeah, put a compressor on it, whatever. So we take the compressor off of this and this. That doesn't have one.
People loved me!
Let me turn these up a bit.
Loved me!
That's still too loud. What we also want to do is probably take out the high pitch. I thought the crackling was the filter. No, there was an electrical crackling which wasn't supposed to happen. So the filtered voice is just this.
My people loved me!
That there. And then there's a regular cut of the voice with a flanger over it on top, which is this one.
My people loved me!
So you can see it's still got that little bit of roboticizing in it. It's because it's a flanger that's bouncing it back and forth. And then, so it's two voices, the same clip layered on top of each other, where one has a little bit of roboticization for a flanger, and then the other has a lot through a, is it a modulator on the second one? I gotta check. A modulator, yes. Also got a compressor, also got stereo width to narrow it a bit. By the way, is this Premiere or another editing software? This is DaVinci Resolve, which is free software.
Loved me!
That's better. Now I think we can put a reverb on it, and that should kind of give it some space. Good if I put the reverb tone up. That doesn't sound like it has a reverb on it. but it definitely does. If I stereo width this...
Loves me!
Bit diffusion? No. Is that actually doing anything? I don't hear a difference. As my people loved me, is the line. I've changed, obviously, a lot of the writing with Magetta. Put your fingers in your ears if you don't want to hear this. It's a spoiler. Magetta is also the last of his race. Kind of like Vegeta, but Vegeta still has Goku and, you know, Broly, but he doesn't know about it yet, and a bunch of other people. Magetta's race was destroyed by a meteor, an actual one, not a Frieza pretend story. And so he wants to wish them back, and so he and Vegeta have a bit of relating on that, and Vegeta is projecting a lot of his own issues onto Magetta. Then we've got some taka 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 taka. A bit more yelling. Still need to do the Trunks line.
Hear that?
Okay, this is... Oh, this is gonna be hell! It's a tracking shot! Why have I done this? Okay. Alright, so we got closed mouth. We just need closed mouth. We need one frame of it. Why do I make my job so hard? Just to make the footage look a little bit better. Why do I do this? I hate tracking shots. Okay, don't take unnecessary elements, or you'll have to line them up perfectly, and that will be mean and not nice, and you'll hate it. Bring the chin in a bit. Right, okay. Now, we want to line this up as well as possible with this. That's good. Oh, it's like doing surgery. So we bring this all up. And then we can bring this down a bit. There we go. Okay. Check this out. Now we fuse them all into one clip. That's a straight shot down, right? Yeah. Nah. What I need to do is I need to make this bigger. So we take a little bit more off of the bottom. And top. Now we fuse it all together. Fusion ha, am I right, guys? Yeah. That looks good. That's perfect. That's Crypt of the Necrodancer. Didn't even know that was on here. Give me some of that Falcone. Yes, this is DaVinci Resolve.
Hear that?
Yeah, why does it slide up at the end there? Oh, I didn't have it all the way down. Okay, I wasn't on the final frame. It's my bad. There we go.
Hear that?
Okay. You use that? Yeah, it's really good.
Hear that? Hear that?
Okay, I could go in, I could redo that with the middle and then full open flaps, but that actually looks good enough without me tweaking it.
Hear that?
Yeah, see, that looks pretty natural, so I will be a little lazy, and I'll cut the corner and keep
It's
that.
the sound of having...
Now this one has moving stuff in front of it, which is going to be a pain. Because, yeah, they go in front of the mouth. So I keep a cycle to there. It's 2 frames, so yeah, that should be 1 cycle. So we want this. By the way, just to clarify on a question I got asked earlier about whether which of the super arcs is my favorite. Yeah, if we're talking like all of them, definitely Battle of Gods. If we're talking about the ones that weren't featured in movies first, then it would be probably the Goku Black arc. Zamasu drags on a little bit. Them going back and forth in the time machine is really annoying, but you know, and it has a lot of flaws with its writing, and it doesn't make the most sense in the world, but I think it's the most entertaining and definitely the most creative, even though the initial premise is Goku but evil, which we've already done before. So I should be able to copy this like this.
The sound of having a...
Right, yep. He's got chin movements. Perfect, by the way. What's your reaction to Morrow and Devil Artemis working on Cell versus Metal? My reaction to Morrow? As in, my reaction to him existing as a character, or the news that we are getting a adaptation of the Galactic Patrol stuff, so Morrow and probably Granola as well. Because if we're talking about him as a character, he's fine, but he's 100% a rip-off of a My Little Pony villain. Like, 1-to-1. It's honestly... It's shocking. The whole time I was reading through the manga, I was like, yo, this is T-Rex. This is literally it's T-Rex design, it's T-Rex gimmick, it's T-Rex. What the fuck? As to them adapting the arc, I've been, just on the off chance that they would, I've got some ideas on what I would do if I were to continue after, you know, the Tournament of Power, so I should be able to adapt it and do more abridged content after we finished with the Tournament of Power. And then Devil Artemis working on Cell versus Metal. I don't care for Sonic too much, so I don't know much about Metal Sonic. I just know that Sonic fans hype him up to all hell and back. And here's the thing, right? Like, okay, if we're talking like Archie Comics Metal, then yeah, he's probably like a multi-billion universe buster, infinite power, you know, ridiculous nonsense like everyone is in Archie Comics. But if we're talking about, like, Metal Sonic from anything I've experienced with him, which is, like, I don't know, I think he was in Sonic Heroes. I mean, Cell would just smoke him. So it's either going to be one-sided one way or one-sided the other based on which interpretation of Metal Sonic they use. And Morrow, I meant the one that made Indie Cross. I don't know what that is. Goku Black needed an edit. It needed a full rewrite. It feels like a rough draft. Yeah. I've spent the better part of a year working on the Goku Black arc for Super Abridged, and man, it is rough. There is so much. Like, I have graphs and pie charts and, like, multiple timeline sheets to try and figure out exactly how everything fits together and how I can adapt it into something else. I am actually going to probably hire someone that does, like, information graphics to do a information graphic for when, because I'm gonna have Bulma go speak to Zuno and be like, okay, what is going on, and have Zuno explain all of it, and over Zuno's explanation I'm going to have like a visual graphic so that you, the audience, can follow what the fuck I've come up with as well. I do think Goku Black is easily the best new villain from the Dragon Ball Super anime. Moro has my vote in the manga, though. I think Zamasu is the best new villain from the Dragon Ball Super anime. Goku Black is not. He's really boring. Zamasu, he just kind of drags on a bit, and he's very one-note, but there's more going on with him, and there's more that can be said about, like, you know, God society from him, but really it just feels like they had an idea for an evil Kai, and then just put it in, and didn't really think about the lore implications of it. Metal Sonic is a really cool fraud to me. Don't let the Sonic fans catch you saying that. Alright, let's get Vegeta's big old jaw in here. And then I'm gonna have to do complex mathematics to edit these lip flaps. I'm not even kidding. So, we need... starting from here, this is wide, I think? There's 3. So, we now need the other... This is wide again. That's wide on... Wide on full. Sorry, wide on lines over mouth. Wide on lines over mouth. Wide on lines over mouth. Oh my god, please don't cycle the lip flaps. Don't do it. Okay, okay, hang on, we've got the other wide. Let's go. So... That's all the frames. Okay. We have all the frames we need. Wow, you don't know Indie Cross? You should check it out someday. It's kind of fun series on YouTube. Yeah, sorry, I've never heard of it. I'll have a look. IMDb. It's a TV series. Encounters with strange crimson portals leave characters from various indie game franchises in worlds not their own. Whilst working together to return home, they encounter hostility from biomechanical drones fueled by the portal's energy. Okay, and what we got here? We've got screenshots of Hollow Knight and Cuphead hanging out. We've got the Knight from Shovel Knight. What else is there? We got Grillbees. We got characters that I don't actually know. We got the Dead Cells guy. We've got the Five Nights at Freddy's isn't indie anymore. That feels... oh god, we've got the, I forget his name, the guy who I smoked, like, first try both times in, Ultra Kill. Gabriel, that's him. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, this looks like ass. Like, it probably isn't, but just on the premise alone, it's like, oh, we've taken a bunch of indie characters people like, we've just kind of mashed them together. So I feel like none of them are going to be in character, because a lot of... what do you do with the Hollow Knight Knight, right? He can't exist outside of his own story because of the purpose he has in his own narrative. The Cuphead characters already have the Cuphead show, so... Am I the only one who predominantly uses the edit tab in DaVinci Resolve? I use it for when I need to, like, micro something, if I need to zoom in and such, but generally speaking, I like to have a clear view of the entire timeline. I am the weird one. Everyone else I know only uses the edit tab, and they're like, what is even the point in the cut tab? I just like it. It gives me a lot of, like, visibility. Alright, so... I want to show you guys something, but it's a spoiler, so put your fingers in your ears and cover your eyes for a minute if you don't want anything spoiled again. So Magetta, obviously, he's the lava inside the robot. He's not the robot in this, because having a robot in the tournament would be illegal, by my definition, because he's not a living creature if he's a robot. So, he's a lava elemental. Specifically, he's the last of them, and he wants to wish his family back. And so when he gets defeated... I'm still working on this, but I've got this little thing made that I think is quite fun.
I'm so sorry. I failed you all. Lava wife, Lava son, and even you, Lava president.
Oh, whoa, you're giving the random dudes backstories. I like it. Well, yeah, of course, it's what I did for the trio in Resurrection F. Oh god, he's one of them. We're going to stop the water elementals from crossing our border. They come in here and they take all of our jobs. These water elementals, we're gonna freeze them into ice. Right, where was I? Yes, so we got those free. Now we need the middle flaps. So here's middle flap. Okay. And we need one more of those. Put this up here. So I think we're just missing... Yeah, this one. Middle flap with lines over mouth. So here's a little rule when it comes to a lot of Japanese animation. They tend to work in threes. So you've got a free frame loop of the Super Saiyan aura. Let me mute this so I can show you. So here we've got lines over mouth, second one, lines up here, third one, lines coming up from the bottom again and leaving from the top. And then that will loop seamlessly. Same here, we've got the lines up here, down here, and then lines over mouth. Same thing. And so now that I've got what are those frames, I can do this.
It's the sound of having a living family member.
Seamless loop. And the same would happen if I used these now instead.
It's the sound of having a living family member.
Seamless loop. Move that up there. So that is wide open, and then, okay, so we go to... Probably want these, which, okay, I'm gonna readjust these like that. Move them out a little bit. So that should be these ones, I think. Shit, don't delete them.
It's the
What editing software are you using? This is DaVinci Resolve. Specifically, this is DaVinci Resolve 19, which is a couple of versions behind, but that's because I'm lazy. My hair's starting to get really long as well. Hang on a minute. I look like one of the Beatles if I smooth it out. There we go. Or maybe Justin Bieber. Do you guys remember him? I don't look like how he looks now, but yeah, I can also do that with it. I have a lot of hair. Okay, where were we? So we got to do counting. So that one is going to be on... I actually need to chop these. So it's going to be these two. Into, so that's above, it's going to then be this one.
Sound.
Let's see if that's seamless.
It's the sound of...
And then, was that over mouth? Yeah, it was, so then these ones.
It's the sound of it's the it's the sound
There's only one from over the mouth, I think, probably here.
sound.
Excuse me.
It's the sound of having.
So second on the middle one, I think. I think that'd be middle here. I cannot hear as I am at lunch break at work, but came by to send you my energy. Thank you, Mystic Bulbasaur. I really appreciate that. I hope you're doing okay.
I feel it. I feel the power surging through me. Yes, finally. Now I can finish my editing.
Nope, it'll be this one. Thank you, Mystic Bulbasaur, for the 5 gifted subs. We've got Minty Ice Cream 2, Skyhawk 069, Flying Woodchuck, Eomitsune, and Rogue. Rogue's a pretty good one. Rogue's a great card. How much of a pain was it to rework the story when they announced Dragon Ball Super Anime was coming back? The story didn't need reworking, right? Because I've written this in such a way that, I mean, it's kind of the same. Like, the Moro arc and the Granola arc don't really call back much to anything that came before. The main issue I'm gonna face is with Granola having the Bardock stuff. Because I don't like the changes they make with him, and I'd want to keep the original characterization of him. But I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Thank you, Mystic Bulbasaur. I want to know how you escape Toei copyright. I don't. I fight them constantly.
Family.
So that is above his face here, which is probably going to be this one? No.
Family.
It's lines over mouth, so it's going to be this one. Take care, Mystic Bulbasaur. I do not have a Snickers bar, but I will get a Twix later in your honor. So that's... Right, and there you go. That's a very complicated flap edit done. Let's see how it all looks.
Hear that? It's the sound of having a living family member.
Perfect. I got a twirl bar right now. Could hurl that through the screen. Oh, dude. Hey, hey, Stigwig, you mind chucking me my shades? I think I think you've got them. And oh, thanks, buddy. That was smooth. Right, we can unmute these. Oh, let's play a fun game of guess what the joke is.
Looks like Fat Ass's box is less of a prison and more of an oven.
And then who should appear? Okay, so we got all three there. And then we're gonna add an alpha source output, and we're gonna link the dot, and we're gonna grab Whis' stupid face, and we're gonna cut his mouth off because we're normal people. And then we're gonna divide that into 3 so that we have the closed, half open, and open. And the reason why we have to cut it out is because the background moves, and so if you just don't do that, and this is what you see with a lot of amateur productions with moving backgrounds, is that you will get, like, so let's say we didn't do that. Let's just move all of this out the way. It's like, okay, we got closed, we got half open, we got open, and then we're gonna have him speak. And we didn't do the proper cutting, right? So, this is what it looks like. Cut this as well. I'm just gonna very lazily kind of align them.
Looks like Fat Ass.
This is how it looks if you don't properly cut out the mouth.
Looks like Fat Ass's box is less of a...
Ew! Look at that, background's jittering. So we put the extra effort in. Now it looks like this.
Looks like Fat Ass's box is less of a
No stuttering in the background. Isn't it nice? It's a little tiny bit of extra effort. I say that, it adds up. It like doubles the length of production, but it triples the quality. If you don't do it, you're a chump. I once had someone say, oh, well, I just let the background stutter because that's kind of my style. It's like, style? Your style is being shit? Why? Be good. My style is making something quality, you know? People might not like it sometimes, but I put my effort in, you know? I put the hard work in. If your style is cutting corners, then you're just cutting corners. It's not that deep. Okay, so we get rid of these. I love making terrible things. I love being lazy. Alright, well that's just based. Press N.
Looks like... Looks like...
Fat ass.
Fat ass. Fat ass. Fat ass. This is
nothing like not working on your project for weeks at a time. Yeah, man, yeah. Where's the season 2 review, huh? Where's the season 2 review stick, Rick? Where is it? Are you gonna talk about Shadow Girl in this one, huh? Are you gonna talk about Shadow Girl like she really, really wanted? Like she tried to press you into doing for the first one? Are you gonna do that?
Looks like Fat Ass's box. Fat Ass's box.
It's a 2-hour segment? What? It's 2 hours long? Wasn't the first one 10 minutes? I know I said, like, you know, I gave you some advice on how to, like, go a little bit deeper on the reviewing and the criticisms, but, like, man, I'm terrified now.
This box.
That can't be 2 hours of praise, surely. Not for me.
Box is... Box. Is less... Box is less... Box is less... So the looks like Fat Ass's box is less of a prison and more of an oven.
I agree and have nothing negative to say. Currently, it's reaching just over an hour. There's about 10 to 15 minutes per episode. That's still huge compared to the first one. Good job, man. I'm glad you have so much to say. It's another one with a Super Saiyan aura where it goes over his mouth. I think I have a whole loop right here, actually. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. Is that right? Hang on a minute. I gotta recount. 1, 2, change. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. Okay, so those three are a group. That's 2, that's 2. That's 2. And that's 2. Okay, so they're all 2. So if I check the looping on this... That does loop. Okay. So it's 4 sets of 2. What if old Kai was casually racist against lava elementals? Alright, put your fingers in your ears if you don't want to hear this. He isn't racist against lava elementals, but he does accuse... Firstly, he thinks it's a robot, so he calls it a clanker. It's then explained to him that that's just a mortal, you know, wearing a mech suit. So he calls for Magetta to get cancelled because he's doing clanker face. That's the bit there. Well, not there, but before. We got a couple of jokes of him. I feel like I'm slowly getting better and better at integrating comedy and seriousness together without damaging the pacing, which a lot of the earlier stuff was a lot more serious because I would rather be more serious than more comedic, and I didn't trust myself not to, like, throw a joke in at the wrong place. I don't know if you've played Xenoblade, but Metal Face. I've played 2 a bit. Didn't enjoy it. I like the voice acting for how bad it is, though. The first episode segment is almost longer than every other full season review I've done. I'm actually proud of this one. Excellent! That's what I like to hear. Okay, so now we need the mouths. You only need 1 of each. So we start on below the lip, and then 1 above. So if I cut this one, that should be the full loop. Fair enough, it was a clanker face. Real clanker changed my mind. Damn, fair enough. That was a Xenoblade 1 reference, so my bad. There's nothing wrong with it. How much of your concepts for the abridged changed, and how far in the series have you got for said concepts? So, not much has changed. It's more that, like, I've come up with... I spent a year, right? A year working on DBSA before I ever put an episode into production. Mostly just working on the writing and the plotting up to Tournament of Power. And that was during the production of Broly, which was 14 months. So I did a few months of Broly and then thought, actually, you know what? I kind of like doing this. I'll do this more afterwards. And so Broly is its own thing, right? I might redo Broly when we get to it. In fact, it's probably going to be necessary. So yeah, I was working on Broly and I decided after Broly's like full of references and pop culture humor and it's a bit shallow, but like I've still put a lot of effort into the writing, don't get me wrong, but like, you know, And then after that, I want to make a series, and the series is going to be very much like, I'm not going to make heavy references to, you know, like TFS, or, you know, the references I make are going to be very, very subtle, you know? Nothing like the cake thing or the pizzas thing in Broly. Yeah, something more into my own style. Rather than being an homage. I have an itch on the back of my leg, and it's really annoying me, so I'm just going to get it real quick. It's right on my thigh. There we go. So I'd already planned out quite a lot of the series, basically the entire series up until Tournament of Power, and all that I did, all that's changed is I've taken like the core bullet points of the ideas. Like, I want Goku Black to be like this. I want Zamasu to be like this. Jiren to be like this, I want Frieza to be like this, and I want this to be the overall plot, right? So the idea of Goku being, like, caught up in the past, and Vegeta obsessed with an idea of a perfect future, and the contrast between the two, that was always part of the deal, you know? Oh. And it was more that I refine the ideas as I go along. So just the other day, I actually came up with some ideas to refine the plot of the Zamasu arc, and alter Zamasu's personality and motivation a little bit. Not personality so much, but his motivation to make him a more interesting character. So, stuff like that. It's more that I come up with a core idea and then I redraft and refine it, you know? I write like a blacksmith. You know, George R.R. Martin is like a gardener where he plants things and then just kind of lets them go off wherever they want to go. I'm a blacksmith. I get a core singular idea and then I hammer it until it's something, you know, beautiful. Or at least that I think it's beautiful. You part of Team 4-Star, I remember watching at the gym, and I think at one point you aired by mistake on Canadian TV. There was a heavy metal theme song that said Dragon Ball fucking Z. That wasn't me. I've never made anything called Dragon Ball fucking Z. I wish I had. I've also never aired on Canadian TV, as far as I'm aware. Well, okay, things I've been in have aired in Canadian TV, I'd imagine, but... Oh, talking of, what do you think of the 40th anniversary announcements? You mean the John Dragon Ball thing, and obviously the Morrow arc, Granola arc, and the new Beerus remake? It's fine. I kind of take everything in stride, you know? It's, I love Dragon Ball, but I don't like what it's become. The John Dragon Ball memes have been a blast, but I'm curious about the Age 1000 game. Yeah, I think it might be like a sequel thing to Dragon Ball Online, but I'm not sure. I'm not... So, a lot of people in the Dragon Ball community, they only care about, like, the spectacle of the fights, the power levels, the aura farming, you know, and I think that's fun, but it does some damage to the overall, like, narrative. Nobody's like, dude, remember this character arc? This was great. Or, hey, you know, characters haven't had good arcs. It's like, people complain that Chaozu and Tien don't get enough attention, right? But then, like, you take something like Superhero, the movie. It's like, oh, wish Piccolo had a house, wish Piccolo got attention, wish Gohan could do more. Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, here's a movie with them, and Piccolo's got a house, and they both get a cool power-up that's absolute bullshit and an arsepull. It's like, people eat that up because it's what they wanted, but it's not what they needed. What we needed was for Gohan to show value outside of combat, because the problem with Dragon Ball is either you're strong or you don't matter. Have Gohan be really useful because... Like, you could have had in the Tournament of Power, right? He's an entomologist, so he studies insects. Have insectoid enemies, and he figures out their biology to help find their weak points. Stuff like that. Use his brain. He doesn't need to be the strongest. He doesn't need to be, you know, the one that Goku passes the torch to. You know, we blew that. That's gone. Let him live his damn life, you know? Let him be Gohan, not Goku number 2. He doesn't need a dumb bullshit new form that he gets from the dragon, which is a retcon of how the dragon should work. You know, we don't need movies with dog shit writing. We need good characters. We used to have that, but Goku got flanderized, Vegeta got flanderized, Piccolo is just a bench warmer, which was a problem a little bit in Z as well, but at least in like the Cell arc, he had a moment to shine, you know? It was the theme song for the intro of one of the episodes. It was when the Cell arc started. I have no idea, honestly. Honestly, good take on it. I think I go for the blacksmith approach. Yeah, I mean, it works. I think it's good to get core ideas and refine them. A big problem I find with a lot of amateur writers and people who make stuff on YouTube is that they don't take the time to redraft their scripts. They'll just write stuff and go, yeah, well, I'm doing this for fun, who cares? And it's a cop-out, you know? You can have fun and also work hard at the same time. They're not mutually exclusive. To me, Dragon Ball was at its peak when it was exploring characterization. Vegeta's arc was amazing, and I wish we saw things like that these days. Yeah, Vegeta as a cohesive story through Saiyan Saga to the Buu Saga was probably one of the most consistent and solid narratives Dragon Ball's ever seen. Yeah, I like Daima and Superhero despite those issues because, but honestly, let Gohan be the intelligent one and actually give Piccolo character. Yeah, Piccolo, I think, he's at his best when he's kind of like an agent outside of the Z Fighters working for himself. Not being evil, but like, you know, I miss the days when he tolerated Goku as like a tentative ally like they did during Namek and then during the Cell Saga. Then he just kind of like became Goten and Trunks' babysitter and kind of lost all of his aura points. Right. So we've got half, now we need full. Honestly, though, if you want to know what I think the real poison for Dragon Ball is, it's all of these, like, hype chasers. It's like, it doesn't matter how good the writing is, just show the characters doing something cool, show their favorite character doing something cool, and they'll clap along to whatever, you know? Gohan got to do the cool Makonka Sapo again against Cell Max, and yeah, Cell Max was stupid, and yeah, none of it made sense, and yeah, the form is absolute bullshit and looks ridiculous, but Gohan got to do something cool, and it was animated pretty nice with the 3D. I don't go for stuff like that. What I like about Beerus isn't that he's powerful, what I like about Beerus is that his personality is so fascinating to me. And that's why I cut a lot of fight out of the fight scenes, because they don't add anything. And then to other fights, like to Tagoma, I add a bit more in places because I want to be able to express his character. You know, everything should serve the story, and the story should be about the characters. And that's what I think the, you know, the Tagoma, Sorbet, and Shisami resonated with people in Dragon Ball Super Abridged, because I actually made them real characters. I cut out the Ginyu stuff, you know, because Tagoma only exists so Ginyu can have a body and we can, like, do Ginyu again. And apparently that's because Akira Toriyama wanted to poke fun at, you know, TFS's Dragon Ball Abridged. But that's just a rumor. That's why I prefer the Moro arc to most of Super, actually cool character stuff and focus on stories. Yeah, the Moro arc is probably the best of Super outside of Beerus. My problem with the Moro arc is that the Yardrats are kind of becoming a bit of a catch-all for, you know, well, we need new powers, okay, let's just go to the Yardrats. Like, the instant transmission was already like, oh wow, there's a race that knows that? That's crazy. Oh, and they can separate your fucking soul? Oh, and they can manifest objects and like physical things out of ki? They got all of those? And Frieza didn't wipe them out? Like, the Yardrat bag is too deep. We like, give some of these moves to, like... I mean, okay, with Goku, like, learning how to make big Goku, right? We could have had him learn that from observing Goku Black, because he creates, like, the scythes. Same principle. Apply it to something that's less, I'm going to kill you with this scythe, and more big, defensive Goku spirit body. Hell, I kind of prefer the original Dragon Ball as well. I love the adventures aspect. Yeah, that's something else that's been a bit lost. Honestly, you can hear me out, Tien could have been the spiritual character. True. Yeah, give Tien weird techniques, let him develop some stuff. Goku can steal all of it, that's fine, but, like, you know, I'm waiting for the day that Goku invents a technique of his own, finally. Except for foot Kamehameha that he used like once ever. Let's get technique stealing between the Z fighters back. Yeah, get Krillin to learn Spirit Fission. Okay, so we've got nose and forehead. That's a new one. That's forehead. So this one.
You think
Lower lip. Whoops. Lower lip and lip. That's 4. Okay, those two are the same. Cool. Then we drag these over here. Okay. Android 17 is my favorite. He pick independence later, becoming a park ranger, lived in solitude, and took on a sense of protecting others and animals. Yeah, my only problem with 17 is stuff that I've been fixing in Super. It's like, Frieza's gonna blow up the Earth. Where is he? Where is 17? Those animals are gonna get cooked. They did get cooked. They all got smoked. I'm supposed to believe he's as strong as Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Goku, when this boy out here letting his animals get exploded by Frieza. I didn't see his ass floating in space with a barrier. Hope I'm not distracting. No, don't worry about it. I like chatting. It's honestly fun. And taking little micro breaks like this to talk has helped keeping my mental clear. What exactly are you editing right now? I see this frame and I'm struggling to figure out what you're doing. So we got a Vegeta line.
you think a little heat will stop me? I'm hot as fuck!
Obviously those lip flaps don't match. So we're getting the closed mouth, middle mouth, open mouth, and we're going to be putting those over the footage, right? So that the lip flaps match. The problem is these lines, you know, the Super Saiyan aura gets in the way. So if I'm going to do middle mouth, and I've got a frame of middle mouth where the lines are up here, but it's going over a closed mouth frame where the lines are here in front of the mouth, it's going to look really weird where the lines are like bouncing up and down and not going in a fluid motion, so I need to use the corresponding frames to overlay on the footage beneath so that it still has a consistent aura cycle. So if we go to here, so this is starting at over mouth. There. I can put these in like this and create a looping cycle. That should be good. So yeah, that's why lip flaps take so long, is because you have to take into account like animation loops. I actually need one from the end of this.
You think a little heat will stop
So
me?
now the loop
I'm hot as fuck!
is perfect. But you see, if we just grab whatever we want and stick it in there, like for lip flaps, so if we take these, let's just take like these 3. I'm just gonna put them right there.
You think?
Like, if we don't line them up properly,
You think?
you see how it stutters? Because the lines are being taken from the these frames up top. I will say something like 18 and 17 not initially wanting to do the Tornado Power really bugs me. Yeah, it's like, nah, we don't care if we get erased. It's annoying. One thing I also realize is that you do such a good mix of story and humor, and actually use humor to build on the story, which reminds me a lot of the work of Something Witty Entertainment's work. That is a much bigger compliment than I think you could possibly realize. Something Witty Entertainment are my main inspiration for how I write and create this abridged series. Because I remember I watched TFS and I was like, these guys are pretty good. And then I watched Something Witty Entertainment, and the way they animate eyes to look around, and like they fully redraw expressions, and like the story is primary, the comedy is woven into the story, not that there's just a story and then lots of comedy slapped on top like TFS do, which isn't to say TFS are bad, just that my preference is the Something Witty Entertainment approach. People are always like, you're just a TFS wannabe, you want to be like TFS. I don't want to be anything like TFS, man. I that's not how I work. I want to be like Something Witty Entertainment. I want to rip them off. And so hearing someone, without knowing that about me, saying that my work reminds them of Something Witty Entertainment is really, it's really touching. Right, I see, is it not possible to isolate the aura effect and re-overlay it after making clean lip flaps? So, that would take even longer. The reason being is that you see all those little lines? I would need to, and also there's gradients, you know, this is all yellow in its kind of tone, right? So if I go to this here, Scooter Tricks, I used to work with him. He does the My Little Pony stuff. So if we take out yellow, or temperature tint, right? See how it's already all yellow? So isolating that would require, you can't do that with the Magic Wand tool. I would have to manually cut around each of the aura effects. It would look very unclean. It would take me hours probably to get it to look good. If I were going to do that, it would take me so long, I might as well redraw this entire frame by hand myself and have all of the effects on different layers and create all the effects myself by hand. This is quicker. Like, doing this, what takes me an hour doing this would take me 2 hours by chopping everything onto their own layers. Dear God, yeah, I haven't spoken to Scooter Tricks in about 8 years. It was back when he had, like, 7,000 subscribers was when I knew him. Honestly, I don't mean this as an insult to the comedy, but I do genuinely watch your, for your reinterpretation of the story. I think in general, comedy is secondary to me anyway. That's not an insult at all. I'm really happy. Like, okay, so here's the thing about art, right? I make art, I make this, and then I post it. And now it's yours. It's not mine anymore. You know, the author is dead. I would like to be commended for my efforts. I would like to be praised for my successes. And I would like to have my failures pointed out in a kind way so I can improve. But ultimately, how you consume the art is entirely up to you. You can watch it through any lens you want. You can watch it and think about it in comparison to other media if you want. I don't recommend it personally, but if you want to look at this and say, how does this stack up to TFS, Something Witty Entertainment, Scooter Tricks, Joyride Entertainment, whoever you're thinking of, fucking, what's he called? Grimjack, you know, whatever. That's fine. If you want to watch it and think about the narrative, the story, if you want to give it like a breakdown, if you want to talk about the themes, if you want to talk about like, you know, the quality of it as an objective piece of artwork, absolutely go for it. That's more of what Stickwick does. If you just want to watch it because you like have fun and the jokes are funny, that's fine too. All I can do, because I can't please everyone, is I can make what I want to make as well as I can. And I want something that's 60% like heartfelt story and 40% comedy and weave them together as well as I possibly could. I tend to watch it how you watch it. Like I'm always thinking like, think of this really cool emotional beat I could do, right? Like I had to stop myself. I was going to play the Megetta scene at the end where he gets knocked out of the arena. I was going to play that actually tragic, right? Sad music and have the speech be like genuine. Not have that, you know, love a president. Even you love a president. But, you know, I realized I don't want it to be too serious, you know, because I still want it to be a fun, funny story. And, you know, the only times I've ever taken it super seriously and not put a lot of jokes in, stuff like the Goku v Beerus fight. stuff like Goku crashing out because Frieza's not giving him what he wants, you know? It tends to be an end-of-arc thing, where how I write these is, it starts off light and funny and jovial, and then it gets more and more serious until the last episode of each season tends to have very little comedy and have a lot more to do with the characters. Damn, I only mess with image editing, so I guess it makes sense that that won't work for video. Yeah, I'd need to just redraw the whole thing. It would be just as fast, if not faster, than manually cutting out every single frame into components. I love a bridge series that combine comedy and story. Me too. Me too. I really liked the family subplot in Season 1 of Sword Art Online Abridged. And, you know, Season 3 is a lot of people have really liked Season 2, but Season 3 is probably my favorite season of TFS's stuff. I think Season 3 has a few more flaws that come from the growing pains of getting bigger. I remember in one episode, they made a joke about Chi-Chi wanting another baby, so she, you know, grabs Goku and drags him in and does a bunch of stuff to him. And, you know, it was played for laughs, and then a few people in the comments were like, were you making a joke about Goku getting raped? And so in the next episode, they spent, like, several minutes, probably not that long, but, you know, they spent a big chunk of time. And bear in mind, we waited, like, 4 months for this episode, and they used up, like, the entire intro to have Goku talking to Krillin about how he definitely consented last episode. And it's like, man... You know, I understand why you're doing it, because you don't want people saying that about you, but at the same time, this is a waste of time. You made a joke about, like, Chi-Chi being forceful, and Goku could stop her if he wanted to. If he really wanted to, he could Kamehameha her into orbit. I didn't feel like it needed to be said at all. I didn't interpret it as, like, anything, you know, by force in the first place. And so there's lots of little things like that, and then there's jokes that they've walked back on that I don't feel like there's any need to, like the tranny joke with the transistor in the van. I don't think the car identifies as neither male nor female. When they first did their watch through, the live stream one, I remember Kaiser saying, like, you know, it was like, some people didn't like that joke, and he went, nah, fuck them. And then when they did the video series on Bento, I think it was on Bento, I remember him saying, if I could take one joke out, it'd be that one. It's like, what happened, man? That joke's fine. Some people don't like it, but that's the same with all jokes. Like, you know, that's the thing, right? When you walk back on a joke, you're essentially admitting to what you're being accused of. Like, if you know you didn't make that joke with any intent of harming, why would it matter if some people took offense to it? You know you're not trying to hurt someone. It's like, you can make the argument that's like, oh, well, it's about how your words impact other people. But I can't control how my words impact other people. Only other people can control how words impact them. I know I'm making a joke, so I'll make a joke. And if I find the joke funny, I'll make the joke. Maybe it bombs, maybe it's not a very good joke, and maybe a lot of people en masse don't like it. But, you know, ultimately, the right to be offended lies with the audience. They could be offended by anything. You know, I mean, there are jokes I've made, like, when I made that joke, like, Roshi was like, it's a shame you shaved your hair, I was gonna grip onto it, or so I can't remember, and then it's like, I can throw you off, you know, and then Roshi's like, try it, bitch, I'm used to locking my legs around folk who struggle. You know, that's really dark. But, you know, and I got criticized for it quite a bit. There's a few people in the comments who really didn't like that. And it's like, firstly, I am a victim of, you know, child abuse, of that variety. So I have the pass. Secondly, it's a joke. It's okay to be offended by it. You're allowed to be. And more power to you. But I'm not going to take it back, and I'm not going to apologize, because I didn't make that joke with any intent of harming anybody. I made that joke with the intention of being funny. Whether or not I succeeded, that is going to depend on the individual. But I made myself laugh, and that's the only thing I can ever truly guarantee. I love Abridged series, combine comedy and story, but the Abridged series stands really well on its own. Thank you. It's free for an audience to compare, criticize, support, and hate for no reason. When you put it online, everyone who's a healthy creator in any fashion learns it at some point. Yeah, I've never taken well to the people who just want to shit on me for the sake of it, and they could have any number of reasons and never give them to me, because it's like, I always try and figure out why people are doing what they do, but I've gotten better with it. I was watching TFS, then seeing the Dragon Ball Broly Abridged film in my recommendations, assumed it was the same team, then saw you live, now I'll go watch your remake. Thank you. Yeah, it's the Dragon Ball Super Abridged is the, I do the show. Oh god, you're right. I think this is an issue with anything that outgrows its audience. Once something leaves its niche and you start watering down for the general audience, you lose what makes you you. Yeah, that's kind of what happens with a lot of properties. Dungeons & Dragons is a great example of this, right? They used to have, like, okay, so orcs are big, dumb, and stupid and strong. And then elves are, like, smart and graceful. Okay, that makes sense. It's a game, and we have, you know, these different species, these races, to represent different, you know, sort of like cultures and alignment types. They are not alignment types, but, you know, stat distributions. That's fine. These are not real-world parallels. You know, these aren't metaphors or analogies. Cool. And then it hit a wider audience of people who are essentially tourists. They're, you know, they just see this on a superficial level and go, wait, so the orcs are big, dumb, and stupid, and all of them are like that? Well, that doesn't apply to real-world logic, ergo it's bad. And so that then got retconned and taken out, and now orcs are like desert Mexicans. But they're people. They're people, they're all people. But they're human now. They're just green humans, and elves are just pointy-eared humans, and, you know, fucking drow are just underground elf humans, and they're all just humans. Very tangentially related, but people complaining about Frieren demonizing demons is such a stupid complaint. Yeah, exactly. The demons are not an allegory for anything. Immigrants do not only use language to deceive and eat children. I hope. I'm going to egg on my face if in a year we find out that is actually the case. But yeah, demons in Frieren are just demons in Frieren. They're not anything else. They're not an allegory for anything else, you know? And the people who are like... And that's the weird thing, right? There are people who are like, orcs are big, dumb, stupid, and created with the sole purpose to destroy and pillage from other nations. They're black people. It's like, what the I didn't think that at all until... Why are you saying that? You're the one that thinks it. What, the game where you can roll 20 to seduce a big fire-breathing goblin hybrid dragon doesn't apply to real life? Listen, alright? You can't just roll and seduce whatever you want on my table, alright? And what's worse is, if you do roll and try and seduce something, and you succeed, maybe they're into some weird shit. Maybe I make it so they're a freak. Speaking of which, Vice and Violence 2.0 is out, and I'm very excited to playtest it. Don't look it up if you're under 18.
You think...
Okay, so where does this start? We start on Nothing Frame, which is here. I suppose what I do is I just put all of the half frames in. I'm 37, just learned Abridged is fan parody, not exclusively TFS. Now that I know Abridged is fan-made parody, any recommendations? I'll probably binge watch your channel today since it's my day off. Oh, dude. I assume either that you just don't have an interest in language, or maybe English isn't your first language, but Abridge means to shorten a work of writing. Abridge originally was in the context of, like, let's say you send, like, you have, like, a book. The summary of the book would be an abridgment of it. You know, when you buy a book, and on the back it's like, here's the synopsis of what happens in this book, here's a rough idea, right? That's an abridgment of the story. Or a TLDR, right? Too long, didn't read. That's a term that's used now, is the same. And it's not even necessarily a fan thing. I just saw, like, what FGV Cosmic said. So it could be. So let's take me for example, right? Let's say I write a story, right, and then like, okay, I want to tell my friend about it, so I give them an abridged version. Well, it's not a fan thing. I'm the guy that made it, right? Abridging just means to shorten a length of work, generally a work of writing. And yeah, no. So TFS are not the inventors of using abridged in the context of making a comedically re-genred story of an original property. They're not the first, and they're not my favorite either. They're close. I would recommend Something Witty Entertainment's Sword Art Online Abridged. Oh yes, I'm Polish, French, Canadian. Makes sense, English I've learned the last 4 years. There you go. Well, good on you for learning. I assume it's a second language, or do you also... do you speak... Actually, so Polish people, I assume, speak Polish. Being French-Canadian, I assume you might know French, and you're maybe from Quebec? I don't know any French, I only know Spanish. But yeah, like, learning a second or third language is hard. Sword Art Online Abridged is great. The only way I can rewatch Sword Art Online these days. Quebec, Montreal. Nice, nice. Ah, Quebec. Why do they let you exist? But yeah, Sword Art Online Abridged is really good. Outside of that, there's not a lot of abridged series I actually like. I'm really picky when it comes to what I watch. You know, and like, don't get me wrong, it's not me saying I have a more sophisticated palate. I'm just very overly critical of everything. Try Dragon Ball Super Abridged, it's pretty good. Nah, I hear the guy that runs it is a weirdo. You're playing Helldivers, by the way? Why are you telling me this? Is this an invitation? Are you trying to take me away from my work to play Helldivers 2 with you, my dear friend? I'm playing Slay the Spire. Dude, dun 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 dun. Ba da 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 da. Na la 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 da 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 da. Ba da 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 da. Do 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 do. Dude, floor 1 boss theme goes so hard. I don't want to take you away from your work, but we could do it at some other point, just letting you know why I'm not chatting much. That's all good. I'm playing, eating scrambled eggs, and occasionally sipping tea. British! 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 Hang on, wait. Let me do my, Are you telling me you're British? No. It cannot be. I see you. This camera is so old, but I cannot afford a new one. Okay. Yes, I am Britain person. Shameful. Who would be British? Not me. Not me, I'm an American. I'm a real goddamn American. I hate the British. I hate the Mexicans. And I don't like Puerto Ricans. I can tell you that for nothing. But the next one will cost you, because I'm a capitalist. Crumb pits? I'm not into pits at all. Let alone with crumbs in them. You people make me sick. Pavement? How am I supposed to know where to walk? How am I supposed to know where to go? Sidewalk. You walk on the side, okay? Autumn? Autumn? What does that mean? It's fall, because leaf go down. Alright, so we're starting on forehead, which is here. So if I do this...
You think a little heat will...
those don't line up. There we go. Gonna have to make all of these a little bit more transparent. I want to go to the other side of the road, but the walk is cross at me. Yeah, you guys call it a crosswalk, right? It's a crossing, I think, here. Fun fact, the United States didn't have a official language until March 2025, being English. That's funny. You call it crossings? Alright, cool. You thought crosswalk was our word? To be fair, I'm a Scottish person. Oh, I'm Scottish as well, actually. My gran is from up near Glasgow, originally. Well, she goes on holiday to Aberdeen a lot. Though I'm probably the strongest Scottish person because I can say purple burglar. Because I can say purple burglar. Purple burglar. Purple burglar. See? I got it. That is hard in that accent. Okay, now let's crank up the opacity on all these.
You think a little heat will stop me? Stop me? Me. I'm hot.
That should do it.
You think a little heat will stop me? I'm hot as fuck!
You don't.
Hot as fuck!
There we go. My friend moved to Scotland, so I convinced him that haggis was a real animal and that he should ask to see people's pet haggis. My ye old grandpappy be from the lands of to unicorn. Oh, you from up Ireland way, like GP, are you? At least I think that's unicorn. Or is that a leprechaun? It's all the same to me. Unicorn, leprechaun, dirty porn. It's all good. Honestly, giving Piccolo and Gohan more techniques instead of just giving them a new transformation would have worked way better in Superhero and actually really interesting twist on usual Dragon Ball Z stuff. It's just it, right? Giving a character a new technique is an interesting twist. Scotland has the unicorn. I got a fucking a brain blaster for you. Unicorns aren't real. Nobody's got the unicorn.
You don't understand. When my kind gets mad, our temperature literally multiplies.
It's good, but it's a bit quiet.
You don't understand. When my kind gets mad, our temperature literally multiplies. Our temperature literally...
Oh yeah, I love Magetta for not having lips.
literally multiplies.
Tiny little sound error there.
I just can't contain it. this rage!
That's just like you, Vegeta. I should cut these flaps out and actually put them across. Said I'm fine, said I moved on. I'm only here passing time in her arms, hoping I'll find a glimpse of us. She'd take the world off my shoulders if it was ever hard to move. She'd turn the rain into a rainbow when I was living in the blue. Why then, if she's so perfect, do I still wish that it was you? Perfect don't mean that it's working. I'm losing my voice. What can I do when you're out of sight in my mind? 'Cause sometimes I look in her eyes and that's where I'll find a glimpse of us. Let's read more chat, shall we? They've got one locked in a cage under the sheep hide. Ooh. He's speaking Gaelic at me. Honestly, really curious to see where the characters are going to be like for the rest of the arc. This arc in particular, not too much is going to change, but I am really fascinated with Hit, and I'm looking forward to showing off what he's like. He's got one line in this episode. It's right after the Cabba Vegeta stuff.
Finally, it's my turn. Nothing is going to interrupt me now.
I like jokes where the character gets cut off. Honestly, Hit is a cool friggin' character, and Vegeta is a silly little guy, and that gag with Hit honestly gave me a chuckle. I'm glad. And yeah, I've got some interesting plans for Hit. My goal is to make all of the villains in Super, I guess antagonists, to make them in some way a foil or mirror to Goku. So do with that what you will. I do worry that that will make them feel a little bit samey, but I'm going to give them all different motivations.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up, Kakarot!
Honestly, I like that idea, making it like Goku faces himself as he faces his past in a way, as a way to truly live in the present. It was a little bit of a complicated sentence you threw at me there, but I think I understand your meaning. It's more that, like, I like a lot of old school shows, like Witch, you know, and stuff from around the early 2000s, and they had this real habit of, like, the villains of the week would kind of represent a flaw in the main characters, and so by defeating the villain, they defeat the flaw in themselves, and I like writing stuff like that, it's fun. Tell you what, the bit that takes the longest is sourcing all of these clips. Because, you know, this Vegeta shot is from way later in the same episode. Some shots are from different episodes. You know, the Goku one, I think, is from a different part of a different episode. And so it's just hours and hours of trawling through footage. And it could be a real pain. Right, there's steam in these ones, so we're going to want... Oh, to crack our neck. Oh. Add a bit of a fade here so that the steam doesn't look too out of place.
Shut up!
There you go. Now the steam doesn't look too weird.
I said shut up!
Not so loud! I'm really sensitive to obnoxious screeching!
Need to do closed flaps on this. That's as far as we've gotten with the Vegeta lines, sadly. Am I on the right frame? Yeah, I am. Cool. Hello, Vegeta. I'm here to steal your mouth.
No! No, I need that for kissing Bulma during bath time. Oh! Don't take away my lippies. Oh. Oh.
Yeah, and then his next line will be there. We do have a final flash from both Cade Vegeta and Prince Vegeta, which is pretty sick.
Final Flash!
So juicy.
You are finished!
Yep, so that all lines up. Ah, this one here needs lining up. This one I think needs to be a little bit kind of stuttered. I'm a sucker for villains that are a damn good contrast and yet analog for the main character. Really need to watch Witch. Yeah, I love Witch. God, I love the VA work here. Me too. Not gonna lie, it's just really cool when you see one YouTuber you know collab with another one on a project. When you teased Vegeta, that had me moving. Oh, I didn't know you were a fan of his. That's really awesome. He's a really nice guy. Like, he is not much like his Prince Vegeta persona when you actually speak to him. He's a really lovely person.
Neither. Neither will I. Neither will I. Neither. Neither will I.
Just need one here.
Neither will I.
That looks a bit choppy, but I literally don't have a choice with this one.
Neither will I.
I kind of want to make that more distorted. If I take this top one and I add modulation to it. Nah, it doesn't work. Makes it too crackly. A distortion, though. Oh my god! Fucking hell, turn the dry wet down. Yeah, Jesus. Okay, probably not through that. I think it's because I've used two different versions of effects. So if I go into this and did it here, it would probably fix it, but I can only do that. I can't do that for individual clips. So what if I were to separate these? And then this one, I have... Actually, you know what? I could just bump this one up to here. And then I could apply distortion to it. If I put that up by 1, actually undo that, copy this, turn off the distortion, and then have this start quiet. Yes. That's fucking... That's meaty. I like that.
I'm so sorry.
That's alright, I forgive you, buddy. Never thought I'd hear GP screech so much. It happens.
Magetta is the bounds. Magetta. Magetta is.
I will say, so I had GP come over not too long ago, last month, along with a bunch of other people. We all got together and hung out. There were like 8 of us, I think. It was really nice to see him in person again. Still crazy to me how fortuitous it was that we met in the first place. I feel like I could probably do more to the scream. Maybe if I put a compressor on it. Or a limiter? That's good. Then we turn that down a bit. That's pretty great. Crank that up really high. Yeah, as long as I make sure that doesn't hurt people's ears, that's pretty good.
Get Magetta. Magetta.
Probably a second big flap.
Magetta is. Magetta is. Magetta is. Is out. Is out of. Is out of. Is out of bounds. 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 Bounds.
Cut those.
Magetta is out of bounds, as are half the bounds. The winner is Vegeta! Magetta is out of bounds. Magetta is out of bounds.
So a cool little trick here is because he's near the camera, so we want him to sound clear, but we also want him to sound like he's coming for a mic. We make a second track that doesn't have reverb on it, and then make the reverb quieter.
Magetta is out.
Actually, we need to make this normal again.
Magetta is out of bounds, as are half the.
We can make that a bit louder.
Magetta is out of bounds, as are half the bounds. The winner is Vegeta!
And there's Cade with his fuzzy ass mic. Ugh, disgusting.
Damn it!
You want me on Helldivers 2 that badly? Alright, I will get on Helldivers 2 then. I have been going for 2 hours, and so I got on after my lunch break. I started at about 9:30, so how many hours have I done? 10, 11, 2.5, and then another 2. I've done 4.5 hours. You have a full squad? You fucking traitor. Kick Bunnet now. Don't worry, Stickwick, I probably didn't say anything interesting.
Damn it!
Belitas is probably going to go to sleep soon. Good. Kill him. Make him sleep forever. Never to awaken again. Yes! Poison him! Make him suffer! Something like that, you know? What's that one anime opening? Do 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 do. I gotta find this now, it's gonna drive me insane. Bleeders went to bed. Okay, I'll be on soon.
Damn it! Damn it! Damn it!
That doesn't look good.
Damn it!
If I just do the closed mouth instead. Renai circulation, that's it. Put that banger on. That's the one. Hell yeah, brother. Editing music. So that's fine, right? But here's the real shit. It's the same thing, Kite. Wait for it. If you wanna jam.
Started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight in my mind. Mommy, just shut up!
Alright, stop. Pajama time. Come here, little kitties, on my lap. Guess who's back with a brand new rap? And I don't mean rap as in a new case of child molestation accusation. No worries, what else could I possibly do to make noise? I done touched on everything but little boys.
Better solution.
I need mommy to I need mommy to Mommy, just shut up!
As you
Mommy, just shut up!
As you command, Lord Fatass. Command, Lord Fatass.
There we go. That works. All right. Why does it flow? Because it's great. What is this song that is currently blessing my ears? So that is called Everybody's Circulation, and it is a masterpiece. What else do we have here? Ah, a beautiful classic.
Oh, is baby getting grumpy? Do you need mommy to?
I need mommy to shut up!
As you command, Lord Fatass.
Just shut up!
As you command, Lord Fatass.
There we go.
Oh, oh, oh. It is baby.
Home. Your music taste is absolutely divine. Thank you. I have divine taste, mortals. You do not understand that this is the taste of a god. That sounds kind of gay. That's right, taste god. Open wide. Bring it all back.
Mario. Eh, eh, eh.
That's the Odyssey theme song.
We got Kai Black for GTA 6. That's Zamasu.
I
need mommy to shut up!
Popular gaming opinion. Mario 1 is pretty good. Unpopular gaming opinion. Gaming on pretty cool.
Stop!
Unpopular opinion. I like the Mario theme song. And I like the Zelda theme song.
And if you don't like that, I'll fucking kill you.
Chris,
What?
Ugh, ugly.
here's an unpopular one. Yeah, anybody ever scream when they wake up from a bad dream?
Here's my unpopular gaming opinion. Gaming followed by fat shaming is good.
Oh. 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 Oh.
The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind because he was way behind and he was willing to make a deal. When he came across this young man sawing on a fiddle playing it hot, and the devil jumped up on a hickory stump and said, "Boy, let me tell you what. I guess you didn't know it, but I'm a fiddle player too. And if you'd care to take a
Dare I make a bet with you? Now you play pretty good fiddle, boy, but give the devil his due. I bet a fiddle of gold against your soul, cause I think I'm better than you."
The boy said, "My name's Johnny, and it might be a sin, but I'll take your bet you're gonna regret, cause I'm the best as ever been. Johnny, rosin up your bow and play your fiddle hard, cause hell's broke loose in Georgia and the devil deals the cards. And if you win, you get this shiny fiddle made of gold, but if you lose, the devil gets your soul." The devil opened up his case and he said, "I'll start this show," and fire flew from his fingertips as he rosined up his bow. And he pulled the bow across the strings and it made an evil hiss. Then abandoned.
That mouth movement looks like an absolute nightmare to edit. Hang on, gang. No, that one's actually not too bad. We had way harder ones earlier. The editing of the song reminds me of Indigo. I remember they used to make YouTube songs a few years ago, and I randomly remembered them and discovered they were now a Barbie bimbo doll. What?
When the devil finished, Johnny said, "Well, you're pretty good, old son, but sit down in that chair right there and let me show you how it's done."
Oh, I just looked at their oldest stuff, and yeah, it's all like emo. What a turnaround. Yeah, they had like Sora Kingdom Hearts hair. What the? How emo are we talking? We're talking all the way emo. Coloured hair, the piercings, the works. And now they're a Barbie.
The devil bowed his head because he knew that he'd been beat, and he laid that golden fiddle on the ground at Johnny's feet. Johnny said, "Devil, just come on back if you ever want to try again. I done told you once, you son of a bitch, I'm the best there's ever been." He played.
There's a video here called Why I'm Quitting. And then there's more videos after. Oh, whatever. Okay.
Is baby getting do you need do you
Bodies and don't you know?
do you need mom to oh, is baby getting grumpy? Do you need mommy to?
I need mommy to shut up!
As you command.
Can't wait to see how you guys will make Monarca's win against Hit legitimate. I can't help but imagine his scream before Monarca even lays a finger on him. Afterwards, he jumps off the ring in fear. No, I'm actually going to custom animate Monarca punching him out. It's going to be pretty fun to work on. I've already got some of the storyboarding done. This is what the Patreon money goes towards. It's why I need so much of it. I need more Patreon money so I can animate Monarca in his true form.
As you can, as you can,
There we go. The moment I get a card, my money is all yours, Kai. You don't have one already? If you're a child, you should not be agreeing to give all of your money to strangers on the internet, okay? That's very bad. I'll have you know, my child gambling den is highly legitimate. Time is it? 20 to 4. Oh! Should probably go play a few games, do dinner, and then get back to this again afterwards. Okay. I'm starting to get very, very tired of doing lip flaps. But hey, we've done a bunch. Still, obviously, a lot more to do. Take care, man. And this one's up next, so I'll put a marker. We'll try and get more of those voice actors in to do more lines. Blinks in being child gambler who lost a Kai because of Pokemon. Now, to be fair, I didn't know you were a child at the time, Your Honor. But, oh, no refunds. Right, I'm gonna take off, and I will keep working on this every day as I always do. Thank you for being here in chat with me. I really appreciate it. And we will get this episode done, as well as all of the other ones later. Heme, I'll see you in a minute, I suppose. Right, goodbye, everybody.